While crypto has a lot of different exchanges, there's some that stand out with their features, the security, the quality, and the time that they've been around. One of the big players in here is ByBit, which is the world's second largest cryptocurrency exchange by trading volume alone, and you have very likely heard about that. And I realized they do a lot more than I expected. We'll go through on what they do exactly, the different things they offer, including something called TradFi for traditional finance, where you can stay within crypto, but then still have access to stocks, metals, forex, commodities. There's a lot more to it than I thought. And they say it's a crypto journey simplified, and I feel like they actually do what they say right there. Plus, they have a bunch of different use cases. For most people, especially right now when the market is down, you don't really want to buy anything. You just have crypto lying around. Maybe you sold your coins, swapped into stable coins. They give you 5.6% on that. That's pretty good. Because if you're telling me that I have, let's say, $10,000 for a year, and I don't have to do anything, I get 560 for free, with a flexible duration, seems like a pretty good deal. If I have crypto and I want to spend it because I actually live in the real world, they have a card for that with 8 different currencies supported and over 2 million cardholders globally. That's a pretty good deal. Because I think right now when I shop anywhere, if I use a regular card, I get like 0.5% cash back and then 0.5% in the store credit, meaning this one is a bigger number. For the cashback on the card, it is up to 10%, depending on the VIP status, but nonetheless, in any case, this is a great deal. And obviously, it's free to sign up. You can use it on your phone, on your Android, whatever you like. Also awarded the best blockchain company of the year in 2024, licensed in different countries. So it got a lot to it. Now, what I'm going to make more videos on ByBit as a whole and the different options they have, as there are a lot of options, including margin trading, futures, options, different tools like copy trading, so you can simply pick what somebody else does and follow them, trading bots to set up positions and market makers, crypto loans even, and a lot more. Main focus for right now, because I think this one is probably the most interesting one, would be traditional finance, TradFi trading on ByBit, on which they offer forex, metal, oils, all that good stuff. Gold, for example, finally came down after it went up to like 5,500, I think, at its very peak, which, to be fair, simply felt like people had no idea where to put their money, so they bought gold as a speculative asset instead of a long-term hold, where it went up by like 2x in the past year alone. As we had around 3,000 in March last year, and then went up to like 5,500 this year. And if you wanted to buy gold and you couldn't buy it physically, and you couldn't buy it on a traditional brokerage account because maybe you don't have access to that, it would be available here, where you can buy it, sell it, and be exposed to this market while still being within crypto. Or let's say on commodities, you want to buy cocoa or coffee. You can actually buy coffee. And think about it this way. If you go to Starbucks and you buy a regular coffee for like $5, or instead, you will buy coffee here for, let's say, $4.50, and then you spend 50 cents on instant coffee, then you have the same experience of drinking coffee, but you also bought something that you can invest into long term. If you want to have gasoline, natural gas, or even orange juice, things that people use on a daily basis, that is available. If you want to hold different currencies, like the Australian dollar compared to the Swiss francs, that is available on there as well. Maybe you just want to buy stocks individually. And you think that Tesla, which like goes between 360 and 400 for the last couple months, maybe you think, well, we've seen this exact pattern repeat like 5 times by now. Maybe the 6th time, it's gonna go back up to 400 in the next couple days. But you don't know how to buy it, maybe you don't have access to the market, maybe it is US only. Well, if you can sign up to ByBit, you can also buy it that way, as they offer that in TradFi. They also have the zero fee mode. There's zero commission, so you trade without those and keep your costs clear. Clear pricing, fast execution, and flexible account modes. Not to be confused with the spot converting feature, which also has zero fee for the transaction fees for it. In other words, you see zero fees more than once on ByBit. And if you think for yourself that your portfolio is too focused on a single asset class, then this is a great way to diversify. Because I'm thinking myself, obviously I like my cryptos, and I would assume right now, when nobody wants to buy it, that's when you should buy. When it goes back up, that's when you should sell. Now, in the future, when I do sell it, what do I do with the money? Because I still want to invest it. I don't want to waste it on something stupid. I still want to have my money invested, but in different markets. And my option would be, I probably go into metals. So we have both gold as well as silver for percentage. Maybe real estate, just to have it. Something small like a 1-bedroom apartment somewhere. But then also some stocks, maybe ETFs in the future. Because if crypto goes down, it goes down a lot. Like we've seen the last 5 months. If we simply head over to the market as a whole and look at Bitcoin's performance, it looked a lot better on October 6th. Where, by the way, people were talking about that this will be the, 461-day peak, which means it has to come down, and it just repeated exactly what the books told us. In hindsight, wish I would have sold there and got into something else, because if your entire portfolio is down by at least 45%, in most cases more than that, because altcoins are down by like 80% or more, eventually you think maybe I should get something that is more safe. Plus right now with the current market sentiment of being in extreme fear, that's usually the best possible time to buy. And when we're in extreme greed, that's when you should sell. And fun fact, if you simply do the exact opposite of what your gut feeling tells you on each of these stages, where you would sell here and then buy in green, if you just do the opposite, you would be a pretty good trader. And let's say you did exactly that, and then you think, well, I heard Nvidia is doing pretty well as one of the most valuable companies ever, and I don't think AI is going to go anywhere. You could place your buy option up there in the top right corner, simply hit buy after you select the quantity. Maybe you want to have 5 shares. That's it. You had a good Christmas, your grandma gave you $1,000, you want to put it into something. Get 5 shares of Nvidia, accept the terms, next. And you can then buy it on here just like that. But the same is true for anything else. If you use Google every single day, it's probably going to go up. People use Amazon, you use Amazon, price is probably going to go up. All of these are available and more. I mean, you can see 24 pages down here. Let's say we go to a random page. If you wanted to buy Apple, because you realize every single year they release the exact same phone with like one update and people buy it anyways, might as well get Apple shares instead of the iPhone and grow your portfolio over time. Now, as far as I know, I think ByBit is the first exchange to offer this. And the idea of this like tokenization has been around for a long time, but I haven't seen anyone else actively doing this and making it easy to navigate without being a pain to go through. That's great and all. Well, let's just say like some regular features on the side. Let's say I have money. I want to convert USDT to Bitcoin. As you can tell down there for the transaction fee, that is 0. Converting is actually free. And I noticed myself on the other exchanges that I use, when I swap something, depending on the currency, they take up to 1.5% for swapping or converting. And that's a lot. You can do it instantly. You can also select a limit. Let's say you assume Bitcoin goes down to like, let's say 68.5, and then you want to swap. You can then select it and set up in here with, again, 0 transaction fee. If you think to yourself, I get my paycheck every single month, and I heard that DCAing, dollar cost averaging into the market, is a smart thing. How do I do that? If you simply go over here, go to tools on the homepage and then create a DCA bot, you can select at what interval you buy which cryptocurrency or currencies. You can select multiple if you want to. Lets you think yourself, you're a chill guy. Select that, select the amount of USDT, select the frequency. So you can say once per day on average, every 4 weeks, so about once a month, or even every 10 minutes if you really want to. And set that up to have auto investing available. So you don't have to think about this at all. Because when people tell you DCA into the market, you usually have to actively do that. So if you have $100 and you want to invest it every single month, you could simply set that up on ByBit automatically. When you get your money and you buy crypto, you put it into crypto, you simply send it to your account. Nothing else. And it does that for you. I like that, because then I can forget that in here. And I think there was a guy who turned about 86,370 into 1 million after 7 years by simply investing $30 a day into Bitcoin without doing anything. No trading, nothing else, simply DCA, $30, done. Which is not even like eating out or like ordering food. It's like one meal that you pay for at a restaurant for one person. And if you do that daily and instead put that into Bitcoin or anything else you would like to DCA into, as there are other options available, and you forget about that, then you look back at this moment in time like a year later or 2 or 5 years later and you think to yourself, well, good decision. And then of course, if you want to buy any currency, if you want to buy any stock, things are available. You have buying and selling. You have to have options down there. How much you want to buy, what selection you want to have, if it's good until cancelled, fill or kill, immediate or cancel. You can also borrow. You can transfer, select your options, whether it's isolated, cross margin or portfolio margin, as well as the settings in there. So pretty much anything that has to do with trading, being straightforward, as simple as it gets, so you can set it up right away, is available on here. And as mentioned, there are 0 fees. So even if you don't even use the exchange actively, you simply think to yourself, I want to buy Bitcoin, and when I want to swap USDT into whatever, I don't want to have fees. This doesn't have fees. You can swap automatically. You can DCA into the market without actively doing anything for it. And it doesn't annoy you. That's how I would personally sum it up. And then right now as well, until the second week of April 10th over here, they have the Wall Street Showdown with 100 USDT, with 100,000 USDT in prizes, all based on the volume as well as profit and loss in there. So far, they got almost 1.5 billion in trading volume alone, with a current price of 10,000 in USDT. The more you trade, the larger the price pool grows. But you'll find the exact details for that when you sign up and you actually want to trade. There are probably some features that you want to use. Maybe you just want to have your stable coins farm like 5.6% APR for the next year, while you wait for the market to recover. This one does that. Or maybe you just want to buy any of their partners and then get rewards because you do it this way. Or you travel a lot and you decide for yourself, I want to get the ByBit card, get the launch access for free, eat all the food, take all the drinks, and that's all you're gonna do with that. Want to save up to 30% on hotels. That's a lot. Basically, look through this yourself. Point I'm trying to make is and convey, they do a lot of things, probably something that you like as well. And if you randomly happen to go to Tomorrowland in Brazil, you get up to 30% cash back on your tickets. Anyways, that's my video. If you got any questions, leave them down below. I think this is pretty cool. And I will see you in the future when we talk about more things that are up there. Because it turns out they have quite a lot. See you and take care.